Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we're putting in the cam and setting up the timing. This is the back side, and I don't know what this particular piece is. It's machined in, and I don't have it on my other stock cam. But these are all they're all sharp. They're all ground, and the edges are sharp. So I could see where they say be very, very careful when installing. So now, well, we might as well just get to installing. I laid some cardboard down on the floor in line with this because it's going to get kind of messy. All right, here we go. I don't know why I'm so nervous. People do this all the time. It's just the first time I've ever done it. Ooh, that's sharp. Ooh, that's sticky. Okay. There's one. I don't know why a guy would be nervous doing this. But you pay a lot of money for these things, and you want to do it yourself because you've worked on things before, but it makes it kind of unnerving. It's not like people don't have the skill. People absolutely have the skill, but it's just something about you pay that kind of money and you do the work, you want it to all work when you're done. So that's two, and it spins good. So now we'll put a little bit more on. Stuff's pretty thick because it is pretty cold. It's only 40 degrees in here. I could have left it sit on the floor. The floor is 60 degrees. Ambient air is, I don't know, 40 something. But the heater's blowing in the background. And nothing to be nervous about. But still, I'm nervous. You can hear it kind of tinking, but so far everything has been really super smooth and have had no problems. You know, you don't, when you're doing it yourself and not a lifelong car guy or a daily car guy that does it every day, you just have to take your time and really, well, see, it's really nice and slippery, and it spins good so far, and it's, you know, it's kind of sticky, but this oil is very sticky. So I'm gonna run to that one, and then it's, you know, so you can see that thing sliding back, which is good. So we're gonna go in a little bit more. Now we're out of the bore, and we're heading back. And there, we're into that one, nice and smooth. So now I'm gonna go get some bolts if this silly thing doesn't slide back on me, and get 1 or 2 bolts so I can put leverage on it. And if you've never done it before and you're gonna do it for the first time, I understand, because when that bearing comes out of that back race, it drops down. When the bearings come out of the race, they drop down. You wanna be able to keep the leverage to tip that up and down. So I'm gonna get some bolts. And I found 2 right away. And I believe everybody says it's the water pump bolts. And this is where the water pump goes, yep. Water pump bolts. Just thread them babies in there. And if you see down here, I did mark my crank where the timing is on top of the tooth. So when it comes to time it, I'll have the tooth that has the dot on it, or the dimple, will be marked. All right, so we'll put a little bit more on here. Comes out very hard, again, because it's cold. All right. Oh. Everything's spinning very freely. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go into for the last one. And I'm rocking it back and forth because it seems like perhaps the lobes get in, so, and there, right? So very, 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 very easy. And there it is up against the back, and it's spinning really nice. So that's it. That's the putting the cam in. So when I pulled mine out, the original one, it had a tight spot, but I just pulled through. This is very smooth, very nice, and it wasn't bad. Take your time. The edges are sharp. Keep it lubricated well, and you'll be fine. It really, this is the first time I've ever put a cam into an engine, and everything went really, really smooth. That's not saying that somewhere along the line I'm gonna forget to do something and have to rip half the motor apart, but that's on me. This worked really well. And there's a lot of good videos out there, and a lot of good videos that explain it, show it, and now I'll just keep moving forward. I'll put the keeper on and all that stuff. Now I didn't get an O-ring for that. I probably should. So I'm gonna check my local AutoZone. Okay, so I know a lot of people talk about reusing this. It would probably be fine. I could feel a little bit of a lip there, but I was able to find this at our local, I think Advanced Autos, where I got this. You can see a tremendous difference between the two, as far as that one's sticking out and this one isn't. So it's a big difference, and I tend to worry about things more than probably is necessary, so it would probably be fine. So I cleaned this off. This is just staining on there. After installing the cam keeper, we use the flathead Torx bolts, and we run them in with the 3/8 AC Delco ratchet. Then we torque them down. That AC Delco cordless ratchet is pretty nice. I use it a lot. So now I'm putting the cam sprocket on, and I'm using a screwdriver to hold everything from turning while I torque it down. So anybody that's familiar with the LS engines already knows what's going on. Those of you that are not, well, I'll tell you what's happened. So I've aligned it, and now I'm trying to put the chain on, and I find out that nope, you cannot put the chain on if you have the sprockets installed. So off it comes, and we try to finesse it around and find out that it's not that easy. It's possible, definitely doable, just takes a little bit of wiggling around to get things lined up and get the timing lined up. Is that normal? Oh no, when that bolts up against, that's good. Yeah, I get it now. So I continue to try to put that cam sprocket on, and continue to make sure that when I get the cam sprocket lined up with the pin and the bolts, that the timing marks are lined up. Which turns out to be a little bit more involved than what I thought it would be. Of course, it isn't hard, it just, you have to find the magic key. That should be it, right? I mean, that's lined up with that. That's, I don't know, it seems like there should be more to it. It just seems like there should be more to that. But that's it. I mean, they're lined up. Gear tooth to gear tooth, I would say that's it. I think I probably made it harder than it had to be. But that's the story of my life. Now it's pulling that cam forward. Now that everything's torqued up and good to go, people are going to see again that I've made another mistake. So the timing chain tensioner needs to go on first, before anything else goes on. So everything comes back off, and time to install the timing chain tensioner, which also gives me a little bit of a problem. It's weird that they're going in so hard. It doesn't seem... What is the deal here? There might be oil in the holes, I don't know. That came out. I mean, I don't... Why does that get hard like that? Why is that? That is not what I signed up for. So I decided, instead of trying to ram jam those bolts into there, might as well tap them, clean everything up nice. I never thought that I would have to tap as many mounting bolts as I did, but it's better to tap it than to drive that bolt in there. So for good measure on the timing chain tensioner bolts, I decide to throw some blue Loctite on each of the bolts. So it's removable. You just don't want it to rattle loose underneath that cover. Third time's a charm. Isn't that what they always say? And this time it really went together quite simple, right? So I hardly had to do any wiggling and jiggling around, and things went together pretty seamless. So I think with practice, a guy or a gal would be able to install this timing chain set pretty simply. So if you look, the pin is there, and the holes were all there. And the timing marks are lined up. I guess it could look like this. So now all that's left is a final torque, and I think we'll have this one in the bag. Thanks for watching What's Next Garage, and stay tuned for the next episode where I think we're going to put the oil pump in and continue building the engine. Okay, as you pull the pin's pulled. So now, that timing chain is, man, it's tight. It's got to be on the teeth. It's lined up here and here. So, marks are good. Let's take one more look at it. Okay, those are torqued. And our timing marks are lined up. So that's it. That's my timing setup. Now I can go to the oil pump.